Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally bringing you that Q&A video that I promised like last month, so I'm really sorry that it took so long to finally get around to it, but I'm very excited because you guys sent a lot of awesome questions, so thank you for everyone who sent in those questions. It was really helpful to me, so yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. If you want, there's also a time-lapse video of this on my channel and I'll have a link to that, but yeah, so let's get into these questions. So, the first question is from Soji Beef Buns. I love your name, by the way. And the question is, what do you do for work? Obviously art and freelance modeling, but anything else? I have a full-time job, and I work at a place called Caption Call, and basically what I do is I am a transcriber for the people who are hard of hearing, and they can't have regular phone conversations like everyone else. So my job is to provide closed captioning for their phone conversations so that they can still talk on the phone even if they can't hear it. And it's a really nice job, especially since it's not retail, and I absolutely hate retail, so that's a big plus. Cassie Chu Art asks, first of all, what artists are your biggest inspirations? My biggest inspiration in art will always be Tony DiCerlizzi. He's the one who got me into art in the first place, and I pretty much owe my entire life right now to him because I read his books when I was a little girl. And those just really inspired me to draw myself. So yeah, look up Tony DiCerlizzi if you don't know who he is. His work is amazing. I also have a bunch of other YouTube artists who inspire me, which goes into her next question is what YouTube artists inspire you? One of my favorites right now at the moment is Audra Auclair. Her art is incredibly amazing. She's so talented, so skilled. Her work is just so beautiful. Another one is Miss Carrie J on YouTube. She's actually the one who inspired me to start my own YouTube channel, and I love all of her art so much. And there's really so many. Jacqueline DeLeon is amazing and inspiring. All my friends in the YouTube Artist Collective. Yeah, there's so many people on YouTube who inspire me. It's really hard to narrow it down to just a few. Her third question is, what kind of music do you like to listen to? I kind of listen to everything, but I always tend to gravitate more toward indie or alternative music. Right now, I am really into Lindsay Sterling for some reason, even though she's not quite indie anymore. But her music is amazing. I also love listening to Curly. Her music is really inspiring to me, so whenever I want to just like jam to some music, I listen to Curly. I also love Paramore and 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots is probably my favorite band of all time right now. Fourth question, what kind of movies do you love? I am obsessed with horror movies. I love all kinds of horror movies, even if they're like really bad B-rated horror movies. I love them so much. I also love anything fantasy, so anything like Lord of the Rings style I love, and adventure movies like Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean. I love them. Joanne Tiffany asks, due to you having a chronic illness, do you get people pushing their sympathy on you, and how do you cope with it? I love this question because it's something that I've been thinking about for a little while, and I kind of want to make a whole video on it. I hate when people push their sympathy on me. It is the worst thing. Well, one of the worst things. I try to cope with it by straight up telling them, you know, I don't need your sympathy. So, okay, what a lot of people do is they will say, oh, wow, you poor thing, you have all these illnesses and you're so sick all the time, oh, poor you. And I will straight up tell them, don't feel bad for me. I've lived with this my entire life. It's a part of who I am. I don't know what it's like to live without this disease. This is the only life I know how to lead, and it makes me super uncomfortable when you make it seem like I have this awful life when I really don't, because I love my life. So I try to be straightforward with them and just let them know that it makes me uncomfortable when they feel like all this poor you stuff, because I don't feel poor me at all. So that's how I try to deal with it. Also, I just kind of realize that some people are just dumb. That's kind of harsh, but some people are really just dumb and ignorant, and sometimes it's best to just let it go because some people are just gonna stay ignorant. Okay. Gloomy Tunes asked, 1, I was wondering if you had any tips for improving your art, as I've noticed you've been improving so much quickly. First of all, thank you so much, because that really means a lot to me, because I've kind of felt like my art is stagnating a little bit. I actually have an entire series of videos I'm going to be doing on improving your art. Most of all, it boils down to step out of your comfort zone. If you keep drawing the same thing over and over and over again, you are going to get better at drawing that one thing. But if you branch out and try different things, you're going to learn a whole bunch of new techniques and new things that you would have not learned otherwise. So it's a really broad question, but it all, I think, boils down to step out of your comfort zone. And her next question is, what's your favorite / least favorite thing to draw? My favorite thing to draw is hair. I love to draw hair. I think I'm good at it. It's fun for me. It's relaxing. I love it. I love drawing different hairstyles. My least favorite thing to draw would probably be environments, because I'm really bad at them. I am awful at drawing environments, so that's probably my least favorite thing to draw, just because it's way far out of my comfort zone, to the point where I'm kind of lost to do with environments. I don't know how quite to tackle that. So, yeah. Princess Kawaii asks, how old were you when you started drawing? I've been drawing pretty much since forever, but I started taking art seriously when I was 13. That's when I kind of decided that I wanted to pursue art as a career, and I started actively trying to improve my art and get better at it. So while, yes, I've been drawing for forever, like I know a lot of artists say, 13 years old is about when I started taking it seriously. And for reference, I'm 21 now. So that's like, 8 years of art? So yeah, art is definitely a process. So if you're 13 right now and you feel a little bit discouraged because you're not where you want to be, that's okay, because it's taken me 8 years and I'm still not where I want to be. So you just always got to keep working at it. Okay. Malak Ibrahim asks, if you were to start over again and could give yourself advice from now, what would you advise yourself? This is another really good question. I would advise myself not to get comfortable drawing the same thing. This kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier, but where I am with my art now, I've gotten very comfortable drawing the same thing over and over again, and that's because that's kind of all I've ever really drawn, and that would be, pretty ladies. And while I love drawing pretty ladies, it's all I really know. So if I could talk to 13-year-old me, I would say you do not need to limit yourself to only drawing pretty girls, because that's all I've drawn since forever, and I really wish that I had more things behind my belt. Like, I want to be able to draw interesting characters and older people, younger people, boys, all kinds of these unique characters that I want to be able to draw, that I really just keep defaulting back to pretty ladies. So yeah, that would be something I wish I could advise myself, and something I also am trying to get better at. Okay, Rachel King asks, how did you get the confidence to show your art for just anyone? I can show my family, but not people at school. I'm not sure. This is kind of a hard question, because I've kind of always felt comfortable showing my art to people, and something that helps me is showing it to people on the internet first, because I feel like when you upload something to the internet, you're kind of uploading it to like a void, So a whole bunch of like faceless people are looking at it. It's a little different now that I'm a little more popular, but when I was just starting out, I was really just uploading it into nameless people with no faces and just hoping for any kind of response. So if you're having trouble showing people at school, I would first try to upload online and just try that. Maybe open an Instagram page or a DeviantArt or something where you can get comfortable getting different feedback from people. That's what I would suggest. Lisa Bootner asks, how much time do you spend practicing? This is kind of hard because I often fall into an art block. It's something that I actively struggle with, but I try to at least draw once a day. Something that helps me is I try to draw once a day, but that doesn't necessarily mean I draw something like worthy of uploading once a day. So it doesn't have to be something necessarily quote unquote good or something that I'm proud of, but as long as I pick up the pencil and do something, it's better than doing nothing. And she also asks, when did you find your own style? Now, I actually have an entire video on finding your own style, so I'm not going to go too much into it in this video, but I personally feel that style is not something that you should look for. A style is something that should come naturally when you are on your artistic journey and finding out what you like to draw and what you don't like to draw. So my advice for anyone struggling with style is don't worry about it. Instead, just draw lots of different things and find out what you like, and your style will come naturally. Okay, she also asks, did you start drawing with copying other artists? I heard a lot of other artists think that it's not respectful to redraw from other artists. I definitely started off drawing from other artists, and I think everyone does. And if they say they don't, they're probably lying, because everyone gets inspired to draw from someone. Like for me, it was Tony DiTerlizzi, and I've copied so much of his art, especially when I was younger and just starting. That's all I did was copy other art. So I personally think that's a really great way to grow, especially if you're just getting into art, is to copy others. However, that does not mean that you should take their work and claim it as your own. So definitely get inspiration from other artists, copy them if you want to, try to mimic their technique or their style, but never, ever, ever claim it as your own personal idea or your own concept, because that would be stealing. So if you want to upload anything like that, just make sure that you give them credit. Otherwise, it's a little skeevy and, yeah, not the best. This is a really good comment that I wanted to go into. Christian Toledo asks, my sister has cystic fibrosis too, and I want to ask you, how do you get through this? How do you put yourself through this illness? What makes you happy? And what can I do to make my sister happier and stronger? So this is a really sweet question, and this kind of made me tear up a little bit. First of all, she should be very happy that she has a brother that cares so much for her like you do. That's amazing. Honestly, it's really, really nice just to know that someone's in your corner. Something I would ask her is, well, just straight up ask her, like, what can I do to make you comfortable? What can I do to help you feel better? Something with CF is it can feel really isolating. So it's nice to know just that someone's there. Another thing is just being available for her to talk to. I know I often feel like ranting to the people I love, but I kind of don't want to put them in that kind of position because I feel like I'm going to make them uncomfortable. So if you just have a discussion with your sister and be like, hey, you can talk to me about anything. I want to be here for you. I want to support you. I think that honestly would go a long way. And honestly, you kind of rock for being so supportive of that. As for how I get through this, I kind of just do. Something about CF is that I don't know what it's like to live like without it. So I personally don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because I have CF. So I kind of just try to make the best of the situation I have because I know that there's nothing I can do to really change it. Okay, so Sasha Fitzgerald asks, I noticed you use a lot of warm color palettes. What is it that draws you to that? I personally don't know. I just really love warm colors. I love pinks and reds and oranges, and I just gravitate toward that. That's kind of something that I want to break out of because I feel like I'm limiting myself. But I just really love warm colors, and I love like autumny colors. Autumn's my favorite season, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I just love warm colors. So Vreeks asks, what made you start drawing painting? What was it, a person, a show, or a natural calling? Like I mentioned before, it definitely was Tony DiTerlizzi who got me into it, but I kept doing it because I really enjoyed it, and I loved being able to create something out of nothing. That's always something that's really drawn me to art. And then as I've gotten older, I've felt that art has helped me mentally as well. It's a really good outlet for expressing emotions. I've never been much of a talker or a word person, so I felt that art helps me explain things that I wouldn't be able to otherwise express. Adrenaline69 asks, what makes you smile? This is a cute question. Dogs make me smile. I'm a huge animal lover, so anything with animals makes me smile. My fiance makes me smile a lot. He's very funny and knows how to always cheer me up. Books make me smile. I love books. Plants make me smile. I love being out in nature. Whenever I'm in nature and out doing something outdoorsy, I always feel much better. So, long story short, books, nature, animals, fiance. I'm almost running out of time, but I think I have one more question to go through. Actually, no, I don't. All these questions I'm going to have to cover in my next video. So anyway, this is part 1 of 2 of my Q&A video because, like I said, my laptop hates it when I go past a certain time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be posting part 2 next week. Part 2 is also going to be a real-time painting of this, so I hope you guys enjoyed this sketching process. And yeah, if you have any other questions that I didn't get to that you'd like to hear, feel free to leave them below. And I still have quite a lot of questions to go through, but anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, I hope you guys have an excellent day, and I love you. Bye.